LA says it is going to be extremely busy, a little extra busy for our typical travel. Justina Latimer is here to talk about some tips that you need to take into consideration before heading out. Justina, good morning again.
Good morning. Well, that's right. So we know that when it comes to Labor Day travel, it started yesterday, and then yesterday and today are the busiest days you'll see out on the roadway. So with me this morning is Katie Alexander with the Texas Municipal Police Association. So we know that it's getting busy, Katie, on the roadways. Yes. When it comes to tips, what are some of the tips you give travelers for this holiday weekend?
Well, we have lots of tips. You know, as a law enforcement liaison between TxDOT and law enforcement agencies, we step up all of our enforcement throughout this Labor Day weekend. Unfortunately, National Safety Council actually, they predict over 400 people will die this weekend on our roadways, and that's just too many. I mean, one is too many. So, you know, of course, we always start with, as soon as you get in the vehicle, buckle up. I mean, that is the most important thing that I can share with anybody is buckle up. And that is, you know, when we look at what's happening out on our roadway, it doesn't matter what kind of driving you do. It doesn't matter if you're safe with your speed, distracted driving. You can be the best driver out there, but if you don't buckle up, somebody may hit you and you can lose your life. And so, number one thing, buckle up. We want everyone to just, you know, we want them to have a great time. We want them to slow down. Everybody is in such a hurry to do everything. And, you know, it's unfortunate that we have a serious problem with speed. So slow down. That is one of the biggest tips we can give you is slow down. Definitely buckle up. Don't drive distracted. Distractions, our single vehicle related crashes, they have been on the rise for quite some time. We want people to, you know, pay attention to the roadway. Give your phone to your passenger. Let them do the texting and the, you know, talking and everything else, because we tend to forget about cognitive distractions as well. So, and then of course, lastly, impaired driving. You know, plan a sober ride. The chances of you contacting a ride share or anything like that when you've had a few drinks in you, they decrease significantly. And so we always recommend that you plan that sober ride. We want you to have a great time, but you know, be responsible and make it home.
And when it comes to a sober ride and crashes during Labor Day weekend, what are some of the common causes for crashes?
Oh, speeding, distracted driving, and of course impaired driving. We're putting a big focus on impaired driving, and right now law enforcement has stepped up and they are out in full force this weekend. They've started already and they will be out. We have a number of agencies that work overtime to be out there on the roadways and just to make sure that everybody is safe out there. We would absolutely love to end the streak during Labor Day weekend. It would be amazing to not have somebody die on our roadways this weekend.
And there is a law that goes to effect. In fact, it's Bentley's Law. It goes into effect today. What do people need to know about it, and what is it for those who are not familiar?
Well, with DWI, we have consequences. There's a lot of consequences, but starting today, Bentley's Law goes into effect, and Bentley's Law basically says anyone convicted of intoxicated manslaughter will have to pay child support for, you know, if they kill a parent, they're going to start having to pay child support 1 year after they are released. So it's a great law. Texas is one of the several states that have jumped on board. MAD, of course, supports that, and we're excited to have it here in Texas. And, you know, again, it starts today, September 1st.
And we'll just reel it in and bring it home. I know you said you guys lost one of your own recently.
Yes.
So maybe talk about that, and then just the importance of why it's so important for people to be vigilant.
Well, seatbelts. Seatbelts play an important part when it comes to being out there on the roadway. Anything you can do to make your life safer. Here in the state of Texas, unfortunately, we did lose a police officer just a few days ago. And, you know, we want to make sure that everyone out there is as safe as they can be. Unfortunately, since November 7th of the year 2000, we have not had a deathless day here in the state of Texas. And, you know, what that means is, you know, we're 22 straight years of somebody dying on our roadway every single day. We're trying to end that streak. You know, TxDOT has this End the Streak campaign we don't want any more people dying on a roadway. The sad reality is that we actually lose 10 to 12 people every single day for the past 22 years, and we want to end that streak. That is what we're fighting for. We want to save lives. We want everyone to be safe out there. Have a great time during Labor Day. You deserve it, but please be safe on the roadway.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. And remember, guys, if you do have to travel this Labor Day weekend, pack your patience, plan ahead, and keep the phones down.